Welcome back to Gerard McClendon Live. Rob Blagojevich, his brother Robert, and a few others have been indicted. 630-575-TALK is the number. Call me now to express your thoughts on the indictments of the year. Indictment days are here again, and so is attorney Matt Belcher. He's joining us live from Tribune Tower. Matt, let's talk about this, man. The individual counts here. I'm looking at conspiracy, I'm looking at fraud, I'm looking at extortion, I'm looking at wire fraud. I mean, it just runs the gamut. I mean, did they think that we were stupid? Did they think they were smarter than everyone else? Were they bullies? Talk to me, Gerard, attorney.
Yeah, Gerard, let's start from the very beginning, and let's not forget that everyone here is innocent until they are proven guilty. So that's one thing we have to remember. However, the way the evidence looks right now, it doesn't look good, to be honest with you. And when I was saying before that it looks like a Soprano script, I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. You read it. If I read many of indictments of organized crime individuals, and this is exactly what an indictment looks like. Yeah. They talk about the criminal enterprise, and in this one they have a Blagojevich enterprise. Then they talk about the bad acts, the conspiracy, the wire fraud, extortion, bribery, lying to an FBI agent. It does not look good for the Blagojevich household today.
Okay, attorney Belcher, before we go to phone calls, do you think that once they go to court, once they go to trial, is there a possibility that any of these gentlemen can wiggle out of this situation on a technicality?
I don't know about a technicality, but maybe Rob Blagojevich might want to step up and let his brother off the hook and go in and plead guilty to a few of these counts. He's got 16 felonies against him. If he thinks he's going to go away on one, he might as well plead out to a couple of them, get his brother out of the mess, and get into jail early. He's 53 years old. Yeah. That's a relatively young man. Yeah. He does 5, 7, 8 years in jail. He could be back out before he's old and gray.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me go to phones. I'm going to go to Quincy first. Quincy, thanks for calling Gerard McClendon Live. Quincy, what's your comment?
I wanted to know that by all of them going to jail, Blagojevich and everybody, and taking the taxpayers' money, shouldn't the taxpayers get reimbursed?
Ooh, great question. Quincy, thanks for calling. Attorney Belcher, this is a thorn in my side, and I mentioned this yesterday when Patrick Collins was on the show. So a politician, embezzles or steals or finagles money into and out of their accounts, but no one ever seems to get paid back. What happens to the money? I mean, it's like they get a little jail time, slap on the wrist, and that's it. No retribution?
Well, yeah, I think that in many instances that you just don't hear about it because it doesn't make the front page. But there are clauses of restitution in most criminal complaints. The problem is you send somebody away for jail for 10 years or for 7 or 8 years. They're not going to come out and make any money. Example of the Bernie Madoff. Right now, the U.S. government's in there. They're taking away his boats. They have his houses. They're going to try and auction them off, the art collections, etc. But the problem is that it's a more pervasive problem for the whole state and all of our tax dollars. And even if we get back a few $1 million from this person or that person, it doesn't make up for the true expense to the taxpayers of the state of Illinois for corruption. There is a corruption tax in the state of Illinois, and hopefully Representative Dirk and Representative Franks will get that straightened out.
Wow. Let me go to Sean next on the phone. Sean, thanks for calling GML. What's your comment?
I just wanted to say, I've been interested in politics my whole life, and I mean, to see Blagojevich just as well as our other politicians in a slump like this, it makes me lose interest.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not just them, it's the city officials, you have Mayor Daley, I mean, it's really everyone that's doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just want to figure out how can we actually get ourselves out of this slump.
Yeah, Sean, thanks for the phone call. Sean is discouraged, attorney, and I'm getting a little discouraged too. And with all due respect to Attorney Patrick Collins, I'm wondering, he's right. We cannot legislate morals, and we cannot prevent crooked politicians for entering races. So should a caller like Sean continue to be discouraged or try to change the system?
I think that we should try and change the system, Gerard. As I said a few moments ago, we could either look at the negative side or we could look at the positive aspect of it. And we always talk about being positive to our kids. Maybe this is one instance when we should all be positive and hope and work together to help Patrick Fitzgerald and help elect politicians that maybe will change the system.
Yeah.
And Gerard, that's all we have is our hope, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so we might as well remain positive and try and get it straightened out.
That's all we have. You know, a guy got a press release from Del Marie Cobb, the representative for Senator Roland Burris. Roland Burris states, "It is another sad day in our state's history that one more governor has been indicted by federal prosecutors. During the 2002 gubernatorial primary, Rod Blagojevich was a worthy opponent who ran on a platform of reform. Now that indictment charges have been filed, the people of Illinois will have the final say on whether he squandered the incredible generosity the people of Illinois gave him their trust." What do you think about Roland Burris' statement, attorney?
If I were him, as I've said before on your television show here, maybe he doesn't have the best communication directors. I don't know if this is the exact right time for Roland Burris to come out and make a statement. Perhaps someone like Senator Durkin, who's been in the forefront of this. But Roland Burris, maybe his communication directors might would have advised him to wait until tomorrow to release a statement.
Yeah.
However, I do accept the statement on his face, and I hope and pray that Roland Burris means what he says.
Definitely. Sometimes you have to lay low. You know what I'm saying?
Not down low, Gerard. Just lay low.
Got to lay low. I'm going to Steve next. Steve, thanks for calling GML. What's your comment? Hi, Steve. What's your comment?
Yes. First of all, about Burris, I totally agree also. Burris needs to keep his mouth closed for a few.
Yeah.
But listen, since we are living in Chicago, come on, this has been going on since Al Capone.
Al Capone.
You know, listen, no disrespect to your guest, your host. Let me tell you, the politicians being crooked, the police people being crooked, the people is crooked. Listen, it's a good time to live in the city of Chicago. So it's not a surprise what's going on.
Wow,
truly.
Steve, thanks for the phone call. Man, attorney, he just called everybody crooked. Hey, I hope attorney Matt Belcher isn't crooked, and I'm trying my best not to be crooked, Matt.
Well, we gotta. That's all we could do, Gerard. We got to remain as positive as possible,
That's
and
right.
we all need to work together to get this straightened out. And I would like to encourage young people like Sean to go out and run for office, and maybe that would be the best instance for them to come and make a change for the state government.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.